Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of Modular, the series where we take a look at the mods that make the game tick. We're on day 2 of Saryn week. That means taking a look at her augment for her second ability, and that's Regenerative Molt. The augment itself is pretty simple really, and that's when Saryn casts Molt, she will regenerate 50 health a second for 10 seconds. Like Venom Dose yesterday, you can get it from either Red Veil or Steel Meridian. You rise to their max rank and spend 25,000 standing to buy it. Or you can use the trade chat if you don't want to go for them, or you're not with those syndicates. So there are actually a few things to remember about this mod, and that is honestly how duration works with it. Duration does not apply a modifier to the duration of the mod at all. However, the duration of your molt will still affect the mod. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it's not as complicated as it sounds. If your molt is over 10 seconds, let's say 15 seconds for example, rather than being 50 health every second, you will still get 10 ticks of 50 health during the course of the duration of the molt. Reducing your duration of the molt below 10 seconds will actually remove ticks from your regen molt mod. So if you've only got a 4.6 second molt, you'll only get 5 ticks of 50 health. In fact, the only thing that does directly affect this mod is that the health multiplier is affected by power strength. So higher power strength is going to bring you more health per tick, which is actually very, very nice. It's also important to remember that if the molt is destroyed, you get no further healing. So keeping an eye on that at higher level is something that you really need to be doing, because it can be fairly squishy. In terms of the build you see me using in the footage, which is actually the third stage of the sortie yesterday, got Energy Siphon on there since it was infested, Max Blind Rage and Intensify for power strength, Quick Thinking as our health, that's basically our health pool, and that combines with Prime Flow for energy storage, Streamline for a bit of efficiency, Prime Continuity for duration, Stretch for range, and then Regen Molt to be able to keep our health up. This is my max damage and a bit of survivability build, very much focusing on energy recovery using Generic and Arcane Energize, but it's a build that I have found to be incredibly effective. So do I think that the mod's worth buying and putting onto the frame? And the answer is of course, yes it is. Molt as an ability is one that I think is fantastic. You shed status procs, you draw aggro away from Saryn, and now if you combine that with Regenerative Molt, healing her as well, it turns Molt into one of Saryn's most effective abilities. Since you get a tick of healing the instant you cast Molt with this augment on, you can spam it a few times for a large heal if you badly need it, or just drop the Molt and leave it ticking while you carry on fighting. There's a bunch of ways that you can make this augment work for you, but put very, very simply, the augment is awesome, and it makes an appearance on all of my non-specific Saryn builds. It's such a huge boost to her survivability and gives you a lot of flexibility. It's a mod that I like a lot and would recommend using on your build. It is definitely worth that standing cost. Now, I wanted to end it off the video with a huge shout out to Hydroxate, who I can thank the colour scheme for my Saryn for. I got it from his original Off the Runway video from Saryn. However, he put out a brand new one yesterday. I'm going to stick that in the description below. You should definitely check out his content, especially if you're interested in Fashion Frame. He is my go-to guy for that. However, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's not a huge amount to talk about with this one. However, we'll be back tomorrow with Contagion Cloud Augment, and then we'll have Suit up on Thursday. So for now, I've got a Dark Sector episode out today as well, so feel free to check that out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.